foundations have been shaken, when I'm left standing in the dark, and all I feel is my heart breaking, you still reign and you're still God. And when it feels all hope is fading, the heavy questions hit so hard, and though my soul may feel forsaken, you still reign and you're still God. Though I can't see what's before me, I know that I can trust your heart, and this one truth will be
Have you noticed how difficult it is to drive anywhere at the moment? There are so many closures, temporary traffic lights up, the poor drivers diverted all over the place. It certainly makes you think twice about setting off anywhere. These verses we have today are part of our reading from Sunday, but in the Passion Translation, and it puts them really well. Grace sets us free to choose, but if we choose sin, it owns us and diverts us away from God. The purpose of God's grace is to set us free, no longer shackled by sin, so we can choose. For without that gift of grace, we have no choice at all. Paul says that we remain subject to the law of sin and its consequences. In a way, the message Paul gives is very simple. Choose grace. Choose a life-giving master to serve and follow. Walk in his way, for nothing can separate us from his love for us. The trouble is we can often find all kinds of obstacles and roadblocks and diversions, and it can be so hard. We know where we want to get to, but somehow we keep stumbling, getting blocked, making mistakes, even turning back in frustration and despair. We find later on in Romans that even Paul struggled with that. Maybe part of the answer is that we have to go on actively choosing grace. We need to keep reminding ourselves that the old master doesn't own us anymore. We need to keep holding on to that firm promise that nothing can separate us from God's love. Because despite the roadblocks, despite the diversions, in the end there is a way through. And we find that God has been with us all the way, even if we haven't noticed him there at the time.
I was walking down on Broadway in a multitude of marchers on parade. There was anger, there was passion, there was mercy, there was peace yet to be made. And the mask that we were wearing kept the virus in control, or so they say. And there was sickness in the air, and to be fair, it was the grief and all the grievances that plagued the many years and caused the tears on every face. Well, there are things I've done that need to be forgiven, but I'm still learning how to ask. 'Cause the virus in my veins has been contained by this inherited mask. And I'd rather be exposed to what is killing than to hide from what's to blame. So let me lift my voice on Broadway, let me lift my brother's cross, let me mourn for what it cost and feel the magnitude of loss in every name. George, Brianna, Maud, oh, beloved of God. And there's more, so many more, but there's just no way to say every single name. And there's anguish, so much anguish to be sure, inside the killers of the slain. 'Cause if you've done somebody wrong, it's like a song you can't just banish from your head. Yeah, it'll eat you when you're sleeping, like a wolf that you've been keeping by your bed. Oh, and those names are gonna haunt you till you lie down in the grave and say goodbye. Then on the resurrection morn, you'll see the form of Jesus blazing in the sky. And then you'll know how much he loved the ones who suffered, whose blood was crying from the ground. And you'll reckon with the truth that even they and even you were so much dearer than you knew. So tell me, what then will you do when the ones you never knew come back around? George, Brianna, Maud, oh, beloved of God. And I shouldn't be surprised that when the lies come out of hiding, there's a fire. 'Cause when every hope was dashed into the ashes of that funeral pyre, there was a spark of truth unsmothered till the mighty wind uncovered and relit. So let us lay down on the altar every sin that we pretend we don't commit, till this world has been refined. Oh, let us share the bread and wine and pass the peace, till every soul has been remembered, every stony heart is tendered, every all has been surrendered, every noble cause is rendered obsolete. And I believe that there's a reckoning in store, and all the poor and the oppressed will be the first who were the last, and all the lost and all the cursed will be the blessed. So let this kingdom of the least spread the table for the feast and light the flame. Let us send the invitation, every tribe and every nation. There's no corner of creation that is safe from this salvation. It is rolling down the mountain, Like the water from a fountain, it is breaking on the beaches, from the deep and distant reaches of the seas. And all the gleaners are the proclamation bringers, and the dancers are the answers to the questions of the singers. And we'll shout that we were wrong, we had it coming all along. But then the mercies of the Lord will be the chords to every song, and all the glories of the King will be the melodies we sing. And all these marchers on parade are making ready for that day. So it begins as I repent and bow my head as I lament this broken world. 'Cause every victim, every villain was a precious little boy or little girl. This is me and this is you. This is the truth, if you believe it or not. You have always been beloved. They have always been beloved. George, Brianna, Ahmad, all beloved of God.